do some live oil painting right now. This is a painting that I've been working on. I wanted to do something a little rougher, a little looser, a little bit different. This is fan art of a person that goes by the name Son Diaz. Sondiaze. Fan's choice. Let's see. All right. So top 99%. What does that even mean? So a little later than usual. I don't usually paint this late. I usually try to finish my paintings a little earlier than this. But today felt like a night that I should definitely paint a little longer. Let's go. Let's go. Zoom in on this. And it looks pretty wacky right now. We were really pushing this idea a little earlier. But now I've decided that I want to tone it back. We're going to try to go for something a little bit more toned down as far as trying to go for expression. And let's see. Got some of this color right here. What's this color? Got this brush right here. I don't really know what this brush was for. Let me see. I'm gonna get a little wacky with this. Just gonna get wild with this painting here. Your live, your story. What are these notifications? Let's see. Service Plus. What is that? Okay. Mirror my video. Live gifts. All right. Let's go with this. Is this the most interesting and entertaining thing on TikTok or what? All right, Mitchell Chen, the first viewer of my live stream, of this live stream, and I haven't streamed in a very long time, so welcome. Mitchell Chen has arrived, has entered the room. Oh, all right. Carly has entered. The people usually give shout outs to everybody that pops into their live streams. It would be nice to know how anyone would give a crash course on TikTok live streaming expectations. So here we go. We actually messed up her arm quite a lot. We were just messing around with her bodily design, but I think we're gonna get a little bit, tighten it back up again. So this actually needs to go down and a little lower. Bring some of those colors into there. Let's go paint down her face here. Her nose. And then let's get a little bit of pink for the lip here. All right, Carly liked the live. Carly, what's going on? Thank you for all the great hearts. Hearts are fantastic. Hearts make the world go round. Hearts make TikTok go round. Koopa, what's going on? Koopa and Alpha, welcome. Thank you. You appreciate the artwork. Man, how'd you get that cool text, dude? Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks. Oh, you like this? So, I want to give a little insight into what this is or who this is. So, this is actually fan art based on a YouTube or a Instagram performance artist named Son Diaz. So I cannot take credit for this image. Son Diaz. This is from her YouTube channel or her Instagram. And I just decided to paint her today. Just decided to paint her in a very unusual way. So, not my typical painting, just messing around while also painting something interesting. Wow, Carly is number 1. Zakaya G. Jersit. Look at that. Look at that. Keeping this live stream popular. Wow. So lucky. So lucky I am to have Carly supporting this live stream, because I know that, those button presses, they cost calories, It's calories. You're burning calories. You are burning calories when you like people's live stream. You burn calories, and that takes energy. So, Koopa, could I draw you in a live stream? I could draw you in a live stream. But definitely, tonight I'm probably just going to paint for like, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. I don't know for sure yet. We'll see. This painting right now, it's just so wet. I've messed up so many times on this painting, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to revive it, because at this point, it's one of those things where I either have to commit to letting it be this like wacky and wild creation, or whether I'm actually going to get really tight on this. Because here's the thing, if I want to get really tight on this, then I kind of have to wait till tomorrow, because the paint is so wet. When the paint is wet, there's a very limited amount that you could do on it without like messing things up. So I just still haven't decided on that yet, whether I want to go and go that route. So we'll see. But let me tighten this up a little. I'm gonna go like that. And San Diaz. What's going on, Ricky Lar SM? The great thing and the scary thing about TikTok is when you're live streaming, it's really hard to keep up with, because TikTok loves its performers. It does such a great job of getting people out there, and YouTube too. Like YouTube's great. But TikTok, just like, if you can keep people entertained, it will keep sending you people. But like YouTube, it's like so chill, Every once in a while, you get a person who really, really likes art. I feel like the people that jump in on YouTube really just love artwork, and it's such a varied, so varied. But on TikTok, boy, people want, people expect to be entertained on TikTok. You have to like give them a show. You gotta give the TikTok show, if you're gonna stream on TikTok. But definitely what I find is that there's so many ways to make money on TikTok. If you're streaming, solely for the purpose of making money. But there's so many ideas like TikTok. How to entertain people. TikTok is about how to entertain people enough to collect money. So we're gonna pump in this garbage bag around her head just so we can establish this space here. let's see. So what's going on here? So here's what happened. So I started this live stream earlier today, is about a few hours ago. Started with a paint over, and now I'm working on. And then I didn't really like where it was going, so I started like messing around with all the design of everything. And now I'm like I'm kind of wishy-washy right now with my artwork. I don't know why. Just one of those days where you're just, I haven't fully committed to a specific way of painting this yet. I haven't fully committed to how I want this to look. And that's a problem. But fortunately, it doesn't always, that's not always a constant thing, but definitely for certain types of pieces, it's really important to commit to a certain style. If you're, it's really important to commit to a certain style. Now her arms look so weird, but it's kind of, it is pretty much how it looks, I think, right? It is pretty much how it looks. Let me go paint this up here. I'm gonna shape this up. This looks so wild. Her body is so interesting. So horrible. This is not a tutorial. This happens to be one of my bad painting nights. Where, why do I like to share my bad painting nights? I don't know. I don't know. Does anybody ever want to see bad painting? Not really. No one wants to see bad painting, right? But it happens. Every once in a while you're making a bad painting. But I think the biggest thing for me, though, is that I'm a big believer in the idea that oil paints is one of those things where there's a lot of forgiveness, in the sense of, you can make some really big mistakes, and as long as you have the time to work on your painting, you'll be able to fix them. But I've gotten so far off the deep end in this painting, as far as like making everything look really wild and crazy, that I'm probably gonna stick with that. But I just want to see, what the possibilities are, as far as tightening up the face, getting the face details just right. And here we go. We can actually, let's see how much of this we could actually wipe away here. Let's try to wipe some of this away right here. Is it working? Is it wiping it away? There you go. Let's go right here. So her neck should really only be like right here. And bring it out right around here. And I think that looks a little bit more normalized. Let's see about getting the black into here. The ivory black, the garbage bags around her body. Still. Hey, Libby Grace, how's it going? I'm looking at this painting and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, I've got a flash goal. What is a flash goal? Let's see. I will say TikTok makes it a little bit more fun to stream because it gives you all these like things to do. If I can make the face look good, if I can make her face, if I could capture certain details on her face, I will be happy. And that would be enough for me to, be happy with like taking the rest of this and just like going crazy with it. But I've got to get the face just right. If you get the face right, you can like mess up other things, I think. So get the nose right here. Let me see, I'm gonna grab just a little scratcher brush. Get a little bit of brown here. Let's get just a little bit of a brown. And we're gonna pop this, just get her eyebrow just coming over just a little bit further. There we go. Actually, that's not bad. Looks like she's got some eyeshadow. I think the eye looks a little bit smaller on that other side, but not bad. And just bringing some of the white highlight into the eyes here. And a little bit more white to the other side. Can everybody see? I hope everybody can see. Just building up this face detail. Tattooed.Barbie. Okay, that's a cool name. I like that. Then you got New, Thin New. Alright. Still getting the support from Carly, so thank you, Carly. The greatest supporter of my channel. Shout out to Carly. Greatest supporter of the evening. And let's go like this. We're gonna carve this down. Make this section feel more natural. More of a natural curve there. Let's just see. This painting is really just an exercise on how far can you take a painting, how far can you push it to destruction versus how good you can bring it back. That's what I feel like this painting is an exercise on, because I really messed up this painting a lot, and now I've decided that I want to make it look, I want to give it that realism, that flair of realism again. But I'm like a cat sometimes when it comes to decisions. Like, you know how like a cat loves to chase things? And like a cat, we don't have like toys that cats can just like automate and chase. We do, but like, they're not always available, and sometimes, you don't have them. So a cat has to like make up these scenarios for themselves to make it seem, like they're chasing something. So they might have to like push a toy underneath. They might have to push a toy underneath the couch just to make it hard for themselves to get it. Like, I saw my cat playing today, and my cat was basically like pushing a toy around a stool, around a chair, and it kept just playing with this object around a chair, and I feel like that was a cat just kind of like trying to make up these situations to entertain itself. And sometimes I feel like that's what I do as an artist. Like, I painted this thing, and then like I messed up everything. I was, if you watch my last stream, I was like just scrubbing everything and pushing everything and like messing everything up. And now I'm back to this like, I think I've made a decision that I do want to go for this modified realism, and I think it's like one of those things. What if like as a human being, I'm purposely making things harder on myself than they need to be. Or here's a philosophical question: is that a form of expression? Cassidy, what's up? How you doing, Cassidy? Is it Cassidy or Cassidy? Cassidy. Excuse me, I got burps. Got a burp. Excuse me. All right, so here we go. Here's what we gotta do. I gotta round out these eyes. How am I gonna do that? Let's bring this down. Need to bring that down so that I can set my ruler on it so that I can paint. I'm gonna use this as a set thing. Let's get serious about this face. They're just the ever so subtlest transitions between her eyes and these like subtle details, and it's just ever so slight. So we gotta capture that. But let's grab our brown here and hope this doesn't slip. And let's go like this. So there we go. Actually, that wasn't so hard. Let's go bring this eye into it a little bit further. And there we have that. Cassidy, you're doing okay? Good. It is, what day is today? Today's Monday. Yeah, I don't know how long I'll be painting. Sometimes, like, I'm painting and I'm like, things just aren't working out. Things look weird. Doesn't look good. And I need a break. That's when I know I need a break. But then sometimes, you're like, you fix things get better. And you just go, all right, maybe I should continue. Maybe I should keep going with what I was working on. I can actually go around the front of the face a little bit. On the front of the face, or the side of the cheek right here. Everybody can see that? Yeah, okay. Sometimes it is better to see from a distance, because if you look too close, you can lose. If you look too close, you just start to like see all the errors and mistakes. So nobody needs to get that close to my painting except me. Honestly, I think what needs to happen is I need to wipe away at these hands. Yeah. Let's just wipe them away. Let's just wipe these bizarre looking hands away. I don't want to accidentally wipe away the face, so let's just wipe these sections away. There's a painting underneath. You can see it when I wipe this away. What if I just like left it like that? There's just so many problems with this. So many problems. Wiping it away with a sock. Socks make really good rags, especially, you know, if they're used socks. And here's the other thing too that I feel is symbolic is the fact that she's always like her thing, this artist, this performance artist, her thing is the fact that she lays in garbage. You know, she lays in garbage, and I think it's absolutely brilliant what she does as a performance artist. And I'm trying to like, you know, my goal, what I'm trying to decide between whether I want to capture that and make this like a very rough, loose, and unusual painting, and you know, try to match that energy of being a little weird and unusual, or whether I want to, you know, paint this very realistic and like elegant to contrast that energy. And that's a decision I kind of have to make, and I haven't fully committed to either way yet. So that's a problem right there. But and that's just me going through my creative thought process. But also at the same time, there's so much on this painting right now that so many colors and so many colors and things on this painting that is creating issues with the current painting process. So I don't know, we'll see. I still have some decisions to make. Do these look like trash bags? I hope they look like trash bags. They're like, what is she laying on? Trash bags. That's exactly what she's laying on. So here we go. We've got part of the face. Let's add a little bit of shadow around the lip here, into the lip. I use this ruler here to help me stabilize my arm. And this is just going to be the top lip here. And the shadow will help us establish some of the parts around her face. And then we're going to come in with this. And bring in a little shadow underneath her lip. Let's see how that starts to look from far away. Alright, not bad. Not bad at all. And then let's add in a little highlight. We're going to go for a highlight here. We're going to go for a highlight color. Let's go bring in a nice little highlight right here. Just a highlight along the top of the lip right here. Let's go. There. Bring that out. And I think we've got good shape on our face. We've got good shape, good form. It's just gonna take a day or two to let it dry to finalize some of the details. But like some other areas, let me see, right here, we could probably use a little bit of a reduction of the shadow, and then come into here. And all right, it's coming along. So, you know what? Since I'm working on a face, I'll probably move a little closer. No one's requested this. Why does no one request these things? Do they think I won't do it? No one ever requests like, hey, can you move a little closer to the face, please? To what you're working on? Why doesn't anyone ever request that? Because nobody cares. Nobody cares about my artwork. Wah. Wah, wah. I'm gonna cry. Wah. That's my crying sounds. Wah. Pretty crowded over here. Let's see. Alright, so that's gonna come like that. Let me see if I can move this just a little bit closer to what I'm working on. Yeah, no one needs to see the whole canvas. You just want to see the face, right? You just want to see the parts that I'm working on, whatever that is. And let's go with a little bit of pink. Bring in some pink here. Very light touch of pink. And let's try to build up some of her face. Let's see. Where can we add this pink? Right along the tip of the nose a little bit. Let's see. Can add some pink along the tip of the nose just to create a nice separation there. Just add a little, try to understand her cheekbones a little and just give her a little pink along the cheekbones right there. Let's clean this brush off. It's actually coming along a little not quite nicely. I wasn't quite sure I would be able to revive it, but I did. But it just goes to show you like what's possible with oil painting, right? Like oil painting, there's so much opportunity. Like even with acrylic, I'm sure, right? I'm sure this is not unique to oil painting, but with acrylic things dry so fast and you just have so much opportunity to like work on top of each other. And it's great. And I think at the same time, oil painting also offers similar opportunities in that oil painting, like it's kind of it's good and it's bad that it takes a while to dry, because it's good in that I could just wipe away this entire section. You like so fairy, is that a fairy? Is that your name? Is just fairy? Or is that a pixie or of some sort, or butterfly, or just a garden angel with wings? But somebody said that I don't know the name. You really like watercolor. Fantastic. Watercolor's amazing. I have a watercolor kit. I've bought watercolor kits for many people as gifts. I just personally can't get into watercolor. It's really difficult to. I feel like it's really difficult to transition from oil to watercolor. Because the way watercolor just works, you know. Can anybody see my blocking anything? No, I'm not blocking anything. Okay. I'm not blocking anything, so this is good. You know, these eyes are a little big. These eyes are a little big, but that's okay. We will make it work. We can always make things work. As long as you have the time. Now, you know, if I only had like a few hours left to live, then I probably wouldn't be able to finish this. I wouldn't be saying that I have, you know, all the time. But, you know, not to get too morbid here. But for oil painting, if you have time and you can fix your painting, you can just go on and modify it endlessly until you have no more time. So I'm gonna keep building up our color right here. I'm using a super light green color. Just so we have something a little different than what's going on in the back, in the rest of her face. And honestly, her face is disappearing into her body a little bit. So I gotta figure out what to do with the chin. Or maybe I'll just keep her arms like fairly loose, you know? I don't know yet. Yeah. Make some decisions, Emmett. That's what I gotta be doing. I gotta make decisions. That's what painting's all about, though. You know, painting is so much just making decisions. That's why it's really tiring, by the way. Making decisions that at least when you're starting, unless you know you're just having tons and tons of, unless you're just going full expressionist and you're just like throwing paint, whatever. But if you're going full expressionist, you probably don't have this issue the same way. But if you're, you know, trying to paint semi-realistic, you do have to make lots of decisions. Well, I think painting in general, you still have to make lots of decisions. But where I'm getting at right now is that with painting, it's all about decision making. You know, it's lots and lots of decision making. Like, oh, what color should I use? How far should I, you know, make this arm go? Where is where does this arm need to go? All those choices. What color should I add here? What color should I add there? All these things need to come up while you're painting. Alright, so let me figure out this hair situation right here. And we're gonna do something about her hair, bring her hair down, and just, you know, right around her eyes. And then bring the rest of her hair around her chin. Just a couple little flocks of hair right here is just enough. Let me see what I can do about the body. I actually like where the face is at. I like where I've gotten the face to. It's really messed up earlier, but I gotta figure out the body. Join through the invite I shared. Yes, agree. All right. So here we go. We're gonna go right here. Let's see how this can work out. Go just beneath their chin right there. It's actually not looking too bad. All right, not looking too bad. Well, let's see. This should come up right around the chin. So wherever this ends, wherever her neck is, her neck needs to come down like right there. Let's see how it looks. I just want to make sure the proportions look okay. Just checking for proportions. Maybe this feels a little far. Because this piece is going to come right there, and then just a tiny bit. Maybe it needs to be like right there. This is such a bizarre, like, angle for the arm and body. So actually, we could bring that out just a little bit further. Bring this around. Add a little bit more width to the hand here. Oh my gosh. What do I do about this painting? What will I do? What will I do? Usually, you know, I trust that I can get through the ugly phase, but it almost feels like this is beyond repair. Is it beyond repair? We'll find out in a little, maybe by tomorrow. I think our hair is a little too big. We're gonna carve away some of this hair right here. Let's see how we can curve this arm around. Alright, let's go like this. Let's bring this down. And pretty much right where we started. Just all of it just looks so bizarre. What to do? Maybe I just gotta like trust my gut and just like paint it, paint these body parts, not how I see it in the image, but how I want to paint it. Let's see. All right, let's go like this. What can we do? We're gonna curve this around. Just have to shape the arm. All right, bring this in. Just go like this. See what we can do about this arm here, maybe. Get a little bit of a revival. This neck still feels a little off. I can still bring it in a bit more. Or maybe that's where the hair goes. Let's go here. Like, it really just has to look like she's kind of resting on her elbow. If I at least get that, I think we're good to go. At least get that detail. Oh gosh, that arm is gonna drive me crazy. Does that look? That arm doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. I think the proportions are a little off, but I think the proportions are a little off, but overall it's not horrible. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Could be better, but it's not bad. I don't know, maybe I'm just talking myself. Her forearm should be at least as long as, let me find a good dimension here. At least as long, it should be longer than this, the chest area. So maybe I gotta improve this area around the chest. So this probably needs to drop down right around where her chin starts. So drop down a bit further, a bit deeper. Like right there. Is that better? Now let's clean off this brush. Let's find a good brush that will help us brush on our black again. And let's just zoom out of this image that we're using. Excuse me. You know, I forgot that this is one of the reasons why I stopped streaming on TikTok, is because TikTok always gets me for, says I'm inactive, but I'm here. You know, I'm painting. I can't. You know, that's the thing about artists, is if you try to do a live stream on TikTok, you gotta be like, there's no break times. Can't be inactive for even a few moments. I'm obviously here. I'm just painting and not on camera. I guess maybe I have to like push this back. Yo, sketches and threads, what's up? I'm not talking to myself, I'm here. Well, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that somebody is watching. Thank you for the acknowledgement. It helps to know that all my talking is not falling onto no ears. Alright, so we're going to bring some more of this black back into here. We're just going to tighten up our colors here. You know, establish our design here. So I kind of like this just being like its own flat color. It's black, rather than like trying to paint the garbage bags as garbage bags. We'll see. I have a lot of black paint. We'll get through this section and decide what we want to do next. Things can change, right? People are adaptable. People change. People's choices. People make choices. This is interesting. I will say, this painting, even though the proportions and anatomy might be a little off, I do feel happy with where this is at right now. You know, a little bit of imperfection never hurt anyone, right? It's just what makes us human. If you want perfection, go to AI. Just kidding. Go talk to AI if you want perfection. All right, here we go. Smoothing out this paint right here. Honestly, I think this just doing this layer of black has actually helped a lot. And cleaning things up. But I think it might be better if I save the rest of it for another night, painting the black, because there's so much paint that's just so wet around that it's just gonna make a mess. Let me just see how far I can push this color. If I was to recap, like what I feel was the biggest issue with this is from the get-go, you know, not sticking with one specific idea or one vision in mind. I wanted to try too many things in one painting. And, you know, even when I started this painting, it was pretty different than how I usually start painting like this, because it was a paint over. So I guess that might have thrown me off, but you know, if you ever watch my live streams, a lot of it is like me reflecting on the artwork itself. But I actually do like how some of these flat garbage bags create this like unusual sense of space. And although her hands do look kind of funky, or her arms look kind of funky, I think that we'll be able to actually work with these hands. Where do we tighten up? Let's see. Where's some other areas we can tighten up right now? Let's go around the legs here. Spooky, that jump sounded hurtful. My cat, every time my cat jumps from like anywhere, she could jump from like 1 foot off the ground and she will make a grunting sound as if she's just a natural like athlete, you know, because athletes know to grunt every time they're about to lift, you know. It's just like you have to exhale, right? It's just a natural thing that the body should do. Exhale, and it helps your body in so many ways. Breathing, exhaling, all these things. Very good for the body. Breathe, exhale. Getting some more contrast in her body here, which is great. All this attempt, I might keep this part because I kind of like how like rough it looks. I might keep the space around her a little bit more flat. There's some interesting shapes let's go. What's going on? Everybody popping in here right now in this very moment. This part of the live stream. Here we go. Let's see. We're gonna go like this. All right, we're gonna clean off this brush. By the way, if you're trying to fall asleep, this is a great channel to put you to sleep, because I know I, for one, if I wanted to fall asleep, I would watch paint dry. But just be careful not to drop the phone on your face, okay? I know that can happen quite easily. If you're sleeping, or like in the process of sleeping, or your phone is like, or your phone is on, or you're like using your phone to try to fall asleep. I've dropped my phone on my face so many times. Alright, we're not using this brush. Let's find another brush here. We're going to go, I want to take the small brush here. Let's see about getting some hand details. So, how are we going to do these hands? Let's see. We're going to find some subtle variation of color between yellows and some yellow, like dark yellow shadows, I guess. Let's see here. We're gonna find our shadow. It's hard because the sun, or the light. LOL. No, sleeping. Yeah. All right. So what's going on, Sketches? What's the latest creative thing that you're working on? So trying to go right here. So this is a little challenge because the light reflects off this area very heavily. So all this like color is very blinding. So maybe I need to go a little bit darker with our shadow, so that I can see the contrast. And let's go. One, two, three, four. 3, 4. Let's bring our shadow in. Let's go. There's a hand. The hand curves down. We're going to go right over here. We're going to get a line for our fingertip. And another line for our other fingertip. So you crocheted a blanket, 85% done, very great. Set it down, prep. Oh, you're starting school? Oh, you're a teacher. Okay, very cool, nice, awesome, amazing. Great, thank you, teachers. I think my kindergarten teacher was the only teacher that ever liked me. My kindergarten teacher. Yes, I was not the I was not a model student. Try to find a little outline. The outline there, maybe right under the nose here. All right, well, thank you for letting me know that. Very helpful. Let's see, let's find some white highlights to bring in. And we're gonna go like this. So bring in a belt or a belt loop right here. Have a belt loop right there. And we got another belt loop coming around this way. And where should we go with this? So how long have you been teaching? How long have you been teaching kindergarten? Is that a lifetime career? Something fairly new? I'm gonna go right here. All right, then let's find some gray. Let's find some gray and try to get into these fingers here. So these knuckles need to have some detail. So we're gonna go 1, 2. I should take up more than half. 2. And then 3. You taught first grade, 5 years, kindergarten, 3 years. Yeah, I was thinking about getting into substitute teaching. Very good. The world needs good teachers, right? So we're gonna get highlighted knuckles right there. Highlight some knuckles right there. Some more highlighted knuckles right there. And honestly, here we go. This is the great part about painting is like as you start, the more you paint, you start to see the issues that arise and you have an opportunity to fix them. So we're going to go like this. And this is going to bring this up here. Curve that wrist a little bit in more. I think that reduces the size of the wrist overall and helps us to get a nice shape for it. Nicer shape. And you want to launch your Etsy shop. We ran out of time. Yeah, I mean, all that stuff. I mean, just everything. You know, really, I mean, being an artist really is very much an entrepreneurial endeavor where you have to learn so many different tools, so many different things. And you know, when it comes together, it's something you can be really proud of. You know, that's the great thing about the arts. When it finally comes together, you've got a great thing going for you. So here we go. Just bring this around. I think I need to tighten up the shadow around the fingers here. No, this brush is going to be too big for that. Let's go for a slightly darker shadow. Let's grab a hint of pink. A hint of this pink. I'm gonna round out the hand here. So what do you think? So let's see. The name of your Etsy store, Sketches and Threads, empty, but you'll let me know. All the background work, you're learning taxes, shipping, slowed your progress. There you go. Look, in the meantime, those kids need you, right? Kids need a teacher. Kids need teachers. They need the teachers. Otherwise, where would they be? They'd be out in the streets. Alright, so we're going to curve this down a little bit more. Pookie, what the? Where'd you come from? My cat is in a bag. Oh, my cat is in a bag. Let's look at this. Let's look at this little lady. I want to see my cat. I want to see a cat in a bag. Everybody does. Let's go look at this cat in the bag. What's up, Pookie? You gonna say hi? Cat in the bag. How do you take a screenshot with this phone? Let's see. Oh, there. Pookie. Hey. It's a cat in the bag. Here's some my other cat in the paintings. See the other cat right there? What's up, Scout? What you doing back there, bro? Huh? Getting in trouble back there? Yes, you are. You know you're getting in trouble. Pookie, what are you looking at? What's out there? What is that? What the heck? What do you see? Why are they looking at each other? Mystery. Chilling? Pookie. What's going on? Why are you in the bag? You gonna tell us a story? Say something. Scout, where are you? Scout's hiding. Just gonna keep blinking. Little blinks. That's it. Alright. Okay, she's done entertaining. Let's get back to painting real quick. This is the wackiest arm. How can I modify this? How can I make this arm work? What would make this arm work? This guy, you gonna get down or what? Get down, bro. Get off that thing. Come on. Don't be up there. You don't need to be up there. What do you want to be up there for? Oh, he just leapt on her ass. Like a leopard hunting his prey. He just leapt on her on top. Oh. Now they're fighting each other outside the bag. Oh my gosh, cats are so cute. The most adorable little things. Yes. Cats are amazing. You're gonna be entertained by cats for days. This hand needs to be about the size of this hand, so. But this is significantly rotated, therefore you will not see the hand in the same way. So let's see if we can get our highlight on the top of this hand a little better. Actually, no, a little bit of highlight right here wouldn't hurt. Let's see. What's up, Scout? What the heck you doing right here? Why don't you go play? Here, I gotta spray this area because they're getting too close. Oh, come on, please tell me. Why does this cat have to be so cute? I'll take another photo. I need my phone to do a screenshot, so just give me a moment here as we take a photo of my cat. Let's see, what's up, Pookie? I don't want a screenshot, I want a photo. Oh, well, whatever. I can't take a photo without leaving my YouTube stream, I think. Green screen, highlight, hide live video. Yeah, I can't take a photo without leaving my live stream, so that's what I gotta do. All right, how do I work this arm? Her arm is like so weird looking. And part of me wants to fight it, you know. I want to fight it and like make it look normal, but maybe that's not what I should intend to do, right? Like, I should just paint it the way that I see it. Give her a little bit elongated finger. And let's find some. Find a blue. Let's go find a blue here. We'll find some blue shadow right here. Now let's grab our white. You know what, we can actually build up a little bit of white around here. Still want to keep some of the shadow. All right, can you two quit messing around over here? Bookie, Scout, you two go find a place and cause trouble somewhere else. No, that's not possible, right? You can't just go somewhere else. They're stuck here for the rest of their lives. Stuck with me. Entertaining cats, yes. You know what? I think this is almost. We're almost at a stopping point for the night. Let me see what else I can possibly do. That hand is definitely bigger. But this hand shouldn't be too small. I feel like Etsy is very complicated too, because Etsy, you gotta with Etsy, you gotta really keep track of, everything has to be done on your own, right? I think they do some drop shipping, but if you're like a really independent artist, there's a lot of self-management that you have to do. When I say self-management, I mean, taking care of your own channel or your own distribution and okay. Got a little bit of progress. I think we're about to wrap up soon. What was I about to do? I was about to do something important. Oh yeah, okay, here we go. Something important. There we go. Something important is this. So this section right here, we're gonna go. And we're gonna bring our shadow down. let's see, where else? I like the contrast so far. It's okay for arms a little skinny. Let's see what we can do about the arm. I'm gonna try to push this in just a little bit. All right. We're gonna come around like this. Let's tighten up the bottom right here. So maybe even skinnier arm. The problem I'm having is like this doesn't even follow any standard rules because the hand position is in such a weird, wild and wacky spot. So it's hard for me to like try to follow rules of painting forearms. You know, like we all know forearms get thinner as you get to the top, right? It's gonna get thinner as you get over there. But at the same time, oh, maybe I don't need this like curve here. Maybe it should just be like a nice smooth curve. Maybe it should just be like a nice smooth curve down here rather than an elbow. All right, you know what? We're gonna take a break, aka go to sleep, stop painting for the night. But made some good progress, you know. Like originally, I was like not too happy with it, but I feel like after some brushing away some things, and like repainting some areas, I think we're in a good spot right now to redo this. And what I think was great was also, you know, seeing how far we could push this painting into destruction zone, aka like, you know, messing it up so bad that it's irredeemable, but somehow we're still able to bring it back. Because, you know, I totally messed up the face. I don't know if y'all saw last stream, but I basically took her face and just like wiped it down. And I really like experimenting in these ways sometimes because obviously not with really serious paintings, which very few of my paintings are very serious, but when it comes to like certain types of paintings, I experiment more. And through those experiments, you know, sometimes I do crazy things, but it's also good to know like what the limits of oil paints are. And, you know, if you push it too far or like screw up, what are the possibilities of repairing it? And depending on who you're painting for, right? Like if you're painting for someone who demands a certain quality in the painting, then, you know, you have to, if you're commissioned, you should honor that. But, you know your clients, know what your clients expect, know what your style is, know what you're capable of delivering. And there we go. We're gonna take a break here. We'll wrap up. My pen is progressing. Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. Sketches. Just call you S&T Sketches. I'm gonna call this a wrap for tonight. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it up, people. And with that, hey, thanks for being here. Have a good night, everybody. All right, and have a good day with all the kindergartners, youngins, and take care, everyone.